Well, let's just put it this way. This is one man's opinion on what's going on with the world, our country, politics, and generally any other bullshit that I see going on. As a Vietnam vet, I find our country's in very sad shape. In my opinion, it started back in the 70s when everybody started, oh, everybody's more important. I'm more important than anybody else. Today's world, nobody really gives a shit about helping their fellow man. It's all a matter of what's in it for me. What can I get for nothing? You owe me because your ancestors did this to my ancestors, and to me, that's bullshit. You want something? Do it the old-fashioned way. Get out and earn it. Don't whine and cry when you're sitting on the government dole because somebody didn't let you buy a new Escalade. You didn't go dating on the the homecoming queen. This election mess, the Constitution gives us the right for free speech and the right to protest. It doesn't give you the right to go out and burn down cities, burn down stores, and expect to get away with it just because of what you believe. The laws are meant for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, brown, pink, or purple. If it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. There is no gray area. Right now, the world is run by too many activists, too many lawyers. Common people have no say because we, like dumbasses, keep electing the same idiots to Congress, the state senate, the governorships, the presidents that we always have. I mean, for God's sakes, we got some people in the Senate and the Congress that have been there since Christ was a child. I mean, all they're doing is getting paid all the time from everybody. You serve one term in Congress, you're set for life. You got a retirement package, you got free medical, all this other shit. State of California is passing all these godforsaken anti-gun laws. But what a lot of people don't realize is a few years before this, they passed it to where the legislatures, even after they get out of office, don't have to follow them. Now, as a pro-Second Amendment person that I am, I believe we all have the right to own a gun, unless you're a felon or something like that, just like the law states. But I believe it should be used for home defense. I don't believe that we need machine guns. AR-15s, as the news keeps calling them, are machine guns. To correct the news, they are not. They are semi-automatic rifles. It's you got people that are reporting the news, and they sit there and grab one little piece of it and sensationalize it. And that's part of what's wrong. They all seem to think they got to get better ratings that way. As far as these protests going on, this Black Lives Matter, by any means necessary, all these groups like that, they kind of, they got a message to give, and I understand that message. But they're going about it the wrong way. You don't. Maybe that's just being stupid. I just don't understand why you're going to protest something, which is fine and dandy. You have the right to do so. Why are you going to try to burn down small town businesses in your own town just to make a point? If you want to make your point, do it the legal way, do it the peaceful way. Your point will get heard better. You start destroying things, busting down windows, burning up cars, beating up folks that are just trying to get back and forth to work that might just actually feel the same way you do. They're just keeping their mind on their responsibilities, like, oh my God, let's call them paying the rent, putting food on the table, clothes on their kids' backs, but you're chasing more people away from your cause than you are getting into it. I don't understand that. I probably never will. Maybe it's because I'm too damn old. But, I mean, what you got to understand is the news media has made these groups like Black Lives Matter relevant. Because if the news story went like this, there was an officer-involved shooting last night. A man was killed, an officer shot him, blah, blah, blah. Leave the fucking color out of it. I mean, every time you turn around these days, especially since Obama's been in office, you sensationalized on everything to do with the black man. You don't hear nothing about the black cops that shoot white kids or the white cops that shoot white kids, because that doesn't sell newspapers. That don't get your face on the news. You can't jump up and down and start screaming about inequality and all this shit. You know? You got people that think the way you do and believe in what you do, but you're chasing their damn asses off with your radical and militant attitudes. Then you got people like the KKK trying to say that they're not a hate group. Well, they've been a hate group since I was a child. And I know that for a fact. You know, they may be trying to change, but the tiger don't change the stripes. No more so than the Black Panther Party does. When they were originally brought into being, they were against white man, against whitey, let's kill everybody. And, you know, they may have prettied up the talk and all this shit, but they're still the same way. I mean, you hear them talking about how they want to take over all these southern states. Well, that's kind of dumb to even think that, because, you know, the boys down there ain't going to put up with it, black or white. You know? You got people on all sides of the spectrum that are looking at this and they're going, are you out of your friggin' mind? Well, I think you are. Now let's go down to something that really irritates the hell out of me. You got this white punk, this wannabe gangster, who posted a bunch of crap on his Facebook page about his white supremacists. The white supremacist might an ass. You know, he needs to get some, you know, he needs to clean up his act. But no, he goes into a black church in South Carolina, killed all those people. You know, he was a mentally deranged idiot. But because he had on his Facebook page the rebel flag, which to me does not stand for slavery, it stands for, you know, there's a lot of things it stands for, honor, amongst other things. But now everybody's trying to ban that, ban memorials, all this other shit. But on the same hand, you move up toward the East Coast area, you got this black reporter that got disgruntled with his job or got fired. I don't recall the whole story. But he stalks these two people, reporter and cameraman, because they're out on a goddamn interview, and blows their ass away along with the person they were interviewing on live TV. Well, he ended up dead, which is probably what he deserved. But they do a search of his house and they find the gay flag, the LGBT flag, excuse me. Must be politically correct here. And I don't hear a damn person saying we gotta ban that flag. You know, that flag has nothing to do with hate. You know, I don't see people banning the ISIS flag here in the United States. You know, it has nothing to do with hate. Islam is a religion of peace. White my aching ass it is. Walks like a duck, shits through feathers like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a fucking duck. There ain't no other way around it. You know? Are there good Muslims? Yes. Just like there are good Christians, good cops, good firemen, good whites, good blacks. There's good in every race. But there are some bad apples that tend to get most press and all that, excuse me for that. What we all need to do is get our fucking heads out of our ass, quit watching NASCAR, quit watching football, basketball, or whatever it is you're watching on that damn indie box. Start paying attention to what's going on around the world. I mean, we've got a military buildup going on in the South China Sea with China. We're testing our edges on Syria with Russia and the rest of the NATO allies are doing the same thing against the Russian borders. Now that's a shitstorm that's fixing to happen. Then you got these people like Farrakhan, Jackson, Black Lives Matter, Black Panthers, KKK, all that trying to stir up a race war in this country, which is just what all these other idiots want us to do. You can't fight a united people, but you can fight a divided. Don't be blaming everybody else for the problems you got yourself into, like I told my own sons. You do the crime, you're going to do the time. Don't come looking at me to bail your ass out. If you did wrong, you deserve the punishment. Now, if you're found innocent, no harm, no foul. You learn something. But I mean, some of this shit that's going on, people are bringing it on themselves. And it's really funny how somebody gets shot by the cops. All of a sudden, that guy, even though he's got a rap sheet a mile and a half long, that boy was a choir boy. Never did a thing wrong in his life. He loved his mama. He loved his neighborhood. He went to church every day. So fucking what? Mobsters went to church every Sunday. Mobsters took care of their families. In the big cities, you got this attitude, I don't have to follow the rules. It don't matter if you're jaywalking. It don't matter if you're running a go-kart down the middle of the goddamn street, interfering with traffic flow. You don't think the laws apply to you. Well, they do. That's why they're called laws. If you don't like them, talk to your representatives and do something about them. Don't sit there and think you can just ignore them and blame somebody else when you get your ass hurt. You got this mentality in the cities of snitches get stitches. Well, I think that's a wrong attitude. You're treating the cops like the enemies. The cops are trying to do their job. And what's really funny, and I saw this in the Dallas protest, you got Black Lives Matter protesters. They're doing a peaceful protest that they had a permit for. I have no problem with that. Everything was peaceful. Cops were on the outside watching them. Marchers are doing their thing, chanting and dancing and all this other stuff. All of a sudden, some clown starts, some degenerate starts shooting people. Didn't matter who he was shooting. The people that were protesting were ducking and covering and hollering for the police to help. Then it came out that he was shooting at the police. Well, I did see a whole lot of protesters, tried to, look to me on the videos that I saw, both online and on TV, and some of the protesters were trying to help the cops that were shot. My hat's off to them. But, you bitch about the cops, you tie their hands in every which way you can, but they're the first ones you call when your house is broke into. I mean, you can't have both ways. You can't have a double standard. And I don't care. If it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's right, it's right. You think that shooting's unjustified before you listen to people make the accusations about this guy, that guy, this guy. Wait for the facts to come out. If you think they're wrong, then you can say what you need to say. But till then, you should just sit back and do like 99% of the other people do and wait for the facts to come out. I'm not saying you sit there and listen to ABC News or CNN and get their slant on it, because everybody's got their own angle they're playing. You get the mainstream media, they are just trying to sell airtime. They're trying to get their advertising dollars. Newspapers are what's going to stir up the people so we can get the next story. It's just bullshit. To me, it's just driving me nuts. If we the people don't decide to change this whole scenario that's going on, we're going to be fighting on three fronts. We're going to be fighting ourselves in this country, over some radical idea. We're going to be fighting Russia or China and possibly ISIS, who they want to, they're bringing them in with the Syrian rebels, Syrian refugees, excuse me. And I do believe that because, I saw photos on CNN of these crowds coming in. I saw very few women and children. Now, it strikes me that if you're leaving a war zone, you're going to take your wife and kids with you. You know, you're not going to be sending all these strapping young men that are in the age between 20 and 30, you know, very, very well defined. Didn't look like they were hurting very damn much or in distress. You're going to send them away? I don't think so. Not unless you're sending them undercover. And that's something that ISIS is known for doing, or ISIL, or DISIL, or whatever it's being called this week. And as far as Islam being the religion of peace, all I got to say to that is if that's a religion of peace, why are not their leaders, the imams, the ayatollahs, all these high mucky-mucks in that religion coming out and condemning ISIS, condemning all these radicals? You know, I'm going to call them radicals. The president doesn't, but I'm going to. I mean, if they're not condemning them, they're condoning them. Now, I'm not a very eloquent speaker. I don't always get the words right. But I am a proud American. I always will be. I'm proud of this country. I will respect the president's office, even if I don't respect the son of a bitch that's sitting in there. And I guarantee you that he don't deserve it, and he ain't gonna get my respect. Never will, never has. When you're in the Senate and you don't ever vote on a goddamn thing, how in the hell did he ever get elected? I don't know, unless it was strictly because he was black. You know, then we get on this Hillary thing. You know, she may make a good president. I'll never know, because I'll never vote for her. I lost respect for her and the Clintons back doing that Lewinsky thing. And she could have put a stop to a whole lot of wasted money that went into an investigation against his illicit affair with Monica Lewinsky by simply standing up and saying, that's between me and my husband, and let it drop. But did she? No, let's just spend the taxpayers' money again. Let's just get this thing investigated 7 ways from Sunday, and then we still won't know the truth because somebody's going to hide it under the rug. Then you got the damn email thing. If she's not guilty, then why are we charging all these military people with crimes because something leaked out? Why did we lose a general because things got leaked? Why is Edward Snowden hiding in Russia because he can't come back to the United States because he's wanted for treason? You know, I see a double standard here. There's always going to be one between the people in the power and the ones down here in dirt level like I am. But what the hell? Till majority of the people decide to stand up and kick these damn fools, these old goats, everybody else out of office that has done nothing but cost us more money, tie our hands with red tape, and hit our pocketbook every fucking chance they get, nothing's going to change. So you want to march and you want to stand your ground and you want to sit there and say you cross this line and I'm going to shoot you, you're not taking my guns. Well, then we're all going to get ready for a war because that's going to happen. I've seen it coming. I've seen the buildup. You look at some of these countries where they've had civil wars the same way it started. You get the damn people divided, and it's easy to walk in and stir the friggin' pot. CIA's been doing that for years. The federal government's been doing that for years. Every time we start to get things smoothed out here, all of a sudden, you know, there's something going on in Washington that they really don't want people paying attention to. If you notice lately, I'd say the last couple of years, every time something big's going down in Washington or in world affairs, all of a sudden there's this mass shooting. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. But what do I know? I'm just a dumbass redneck that works for a living, tries to take care of my family and friends. Well, that's all I'm going to say for now. I'm going to post this damn thing on Google Plus and YouTube. You like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Let me know in any comment section you can find. Have a wonderful day. God bless.